Man. Oh, okay. Shalom, laha alahayim, peace to the gods. Nawathan, call halayim la, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha, HaKodash, giving all praises to Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai, in the name of the Holy Spirit, double honors unto the elder apostles, of the bishops, head elders of all the camps of Great Millstone and GMS who do well. Salutations to the whole field like scattered abroad. I'm going to run through this real quick. It's your brother Tazapania, spiritual commentary through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, is edifying to the elect. I named this video X, the uncertainty placeholder. You know, Jake, if you would have asked Jake, do you know what's going on in Western Asia, what the world ignorantly calls the Middle East? They would have no fucking clue, man. Okay? Like, yo, you have, I mean, the elect know, the hopeful elect know, man. The Lord is definitely dealing with Elder Apostle Tahar, Gabar, Rakar, Ariam Lob, the bishops, and the elders on down, because 2024 is definitely the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, man. I'm going to get the etymology of the word X. Canadian Prepper brought out some shit, and I've been thinking about why is X all over the place, bro? Formerly known as Twitter X, Disease X, Tesla Model X, Space X, you know, like what the fuck, man? And then you come to find out what the whole deal is. This is the etymology of the word X. And this is my second video. Hey, I ain't got, listen, I'm in a polar vortex right now. It's negative fucking 20 degrees outside. I'm capping. But it's like -3, -4 outside. I don't got no plantation tomorrow. Why not edify the sheep, right? So I'm over here off the yan, you feel me, trying to increase in wisdom and knowledge of this truth, man, looking through things through a spiritual lens. All right, the etymology of the word X, it says the entire entry for X in Johnson's dictionary, 1756, is X is a letter which, though found in Saxon words, begins no word in the English language. Most English words beginning in X are of Greek origin. See Kai. Hold on. When we go to Revelation chapter 13, verse 18, and we look up that number 603 score and 6 in the Greek, it's Chi Psi Sigma, right? You think it's a coincidence that everybody's using X, and this happens to be the number of the beast? I don't think so. Through the spirit and Lord willing, I don't know, Lord willing, they gonna push this chip this year, man. And it almost brought tears to my eyes, bro. If I'm gonna keep it a buck, facto mundo, because I yearn for the kingdom, bro. I'm literally asking the Father through his son every day, man. get us under this, you know, horrific, heinous, oppressive captivity of the beast basement, Esau Edom, man. But in Acts, it says, through much tribulation, roughly paraphrasing, we have to enter into the kingdom of the Heavenly Father. And I only have an inkling through the spirit of the imagination of what JT is going to be like. And this shit is going to be all fucking holy hell, son. So there's a reason why they use an X, and X just happens to be that 600 number. You see? The starting point of 666. Let me go back to the etymology. It says, or modern commercial coinages. Okay. It says, as a symbol of a kiss on a letter, malt liquor XX denoted double quality. XXX is strongest quality. Algebraic meaning, unknown quantity. You see that? Sometimes is said to be from medieval use, originally a crossed R. In that case, probably from Latin radix. Other theories trace it to Arabic, but a more prosaic explanation says Descartes took XYZ, the last three letters of the alphabet for unknowns, to correspond to ABC used for known qualities. Used elusively for unknown person from 1797, something unknown since 1859 as a type of chromosome, so on and so forth. All right. So I'm going to get into this. I'm going to run it back from the top. But I got 10 minutes in and I was getting goosebumps, man. You know, filtering it through the scriptures. Because this shit is about to go down. Shit is about to hit the fan. And if you don't have the covering of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, as we're constantly saying, you're going to be assed out. You're going to be assed out. All right? So without further ado.
All right, this is an emergency update of the highest level of importance, DEFCON 2 and climbing. One of these days, I'm going to make a video. Unbeknownst to me, it's going to be my last because there's going to be a power outage, internet, cyber attack, EMP, grid down style event, or perhaps, and perhaps more likely, it's going to be just a martial law crackdown, and I'm going to get swept up in one of Trudeau's censorship dragnets. Maybe it's going to be a mushroom cloud, but the day is...
So notice how he's saying he knows that the shit going to hit the fan and he's not going to be able to make videos no more. This is Amos 8 and 11. All right, I'm going to read the NLT. It says, the time is surely coming, says the sovereign Lord, when I will send a famine on the land, not a famine of bread or water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. People will stagger from sea to sea and wander from border to border, searching for the word of Yahweh, but they will not find it. Beautiful girls and strong young men will grow faint in that day, thirsting for Yahweh's word. All right? This is not a time to play with, man. Something going to happen and we not going to be teaching. And if you sitting here playing around using this thing for entertainment, that's your ass. Notice how he said, "Or it could be martial law." Let's, well, I'll leave it at that. Let's continue.
It's fast approaching. I'm 100% confident that we are but seconds away from midnight in relative terms. The intent...
Relative terms, because he's using, they're supposed to come out with another meeting where they do the doomsday clock, and seconds towards doomsday midnight is when the missiles fly. So if he's saying seconds, meaning it's a very, very, very short period of time until the missiles fly. And we know as prophets of Yahweh, why Yahweh Shah, that's not going to come until that chip is globally mandated.
Intensification of hostilities around the world in the last 24 hours is astonishing. We're seeing geometric escalation in the Middle East. And it's happening just like we said it would. which is scary because what we say happens next is even worse. Now, I'm going to enumerate all the headlines, and after I do that, we're going to talk about a nightmare NATO scenario that I believe they are holding on to as a Plan B contingency. And it
Remember, NATO is the beast that is spoken of in Revelation. It's not no antichrist, one fucking Edomite man, you know, on some charismatic type bullshit. Hell no. It's a system. All right. And its image is nothing but an imitation, a carbon copy of the ancient Roman Empire in a revival state of what you now know as NATO and the EU, with America that rides the beast because it does whatever America says is going to do. But we're seeing all of that crumble down in our face.
involves a decapitation strike on the Kremlin using nuclear weapons. And they're doing these big arrow maneuvers right now that suggest that these are not exercises. Okay, we always joke about there are no military exercises, only World War III disguises, but this starts to really look like something.
The second woe is past, and lo, the third woe cometh quickly.
And I'm going to provide all the details. Now, first, let's talk about what's happened in the last 24. One of the biggest pieces of news is that Iran has joined the conflict. Iran has launched missiles, the longest range ballistic missiles that they've ever launched in their history from their territory. No longer.
The more we hear that, unprecedented, never happened before, first time ever, we're entering into Jacob's trouble. Matter of fact, let's go get it real quick. Matter of fact, I can recite it. Jeremiah 30:7. Alas, for the day is great, and no day like it. For it is the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
Longer is it IRGC-backed militias. This is Iran launching ballistic missiles against Syrian targets, while Israeli-backed, U.S.-backed, Mossad-affiliated, according to the Iranian targets in Syria. This is big. This is a massive escalation. In addition to that, the Houthis have targeted a U.S. commercial vessel, and it was actually a hit this time. It was not deflected. It was not shot down. They were able to target a commercial vessel. That means, you guessed it, more escalation in the Middle East. Now, prior to Iran firing the longest range missiles they've ever fired in their history, get a load of this. The Iranian foreign minister gets off the phone with the Russian foreign minister.
Whoa.
They finalize a deal for a strategic partnership. What does that mean? Well, it ostensibly means that what we've been saying all along, in that Iran is quite possibly now under the Russian nuclear umbrella.
Oh, shit.
If you want to talk about a Gog versus Magog biblical scenario for all you Christian eschatologists out there, you guys know I'm an agnostic, but I throw you a bone every once in a while.
So you see that? So first, who are the real Christians? Those are only Israelites that believe on Yahweh Shai. So these Christians that call on the name of Jesus, JC, they're not really Christians. Okay? All right? One, Christians come from the word Christianos, and they those that followed Yahweh Shai was called in the Greek Christianos first in Antioch, as it says in the book of Acts. That's one. Two, you cannot be a so-called Christianos, which was a derogatory term called upon the followers of Yahweh Shai, if you're not even an Israelite. That's two. You know, so the real Christians, all right, for lack of getting too deep, are the Hebrew Israelites that are worshiping Yahweh Shai in a spirit and in truth. Okay, and then two, eschatology means the study of the end times, of the last days. Okay, just to make sure, let's look that up in the etymology real quick. Eschatology. 1834, from Latinized from the Greek eschatos, last, furthest, uttermost, extreme, most remote in time, space, degree, plus ology. In theology, the study of the four last things: death, judgment, heaven, hell. Okay, so the second death, which would be what? The nuclear missiles. All right. Judgment is also going to come through that, and also, with the slavery, and hence goes with the hell, because there's no such thing as a spiritual hell. That's a fucking fable. All right. Heaven is rulership. All right, and the Israelites is going to be, the kingdom of Israel is going to be put back on top. All right, but the point is, so just like how he said Gog and Magog. You feel me? He's an agnostic, so he's going to be destroyed. So he's doing all this prepping for no reason. You feel me? Because unless he repents and come back to his true power, because I kind of think he a Jake. You know what I mean? He got that Jake look, like his mom's could be, some heathen nation, but his pops is Jake, whatever. I don't know. All right, but this is Ezekiel 38. Starting at verse 2, it says, Son of man, set thy face against Gog in the land of Magog. Gog will be the ruler of the land of Magog. Magog is where your modern day Russia is at. It says the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. When you look up in the Hebrew, chief prince, chief is Rosh or Rawash, and prince is Shar. So this is where you even get the term Russia, Rosh Shar or Rawash Shar or Russia. Okay, it says, and prophesy against him and say, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I am against thee, O Gog. Okay, so the Most High is against Putin right now. All right, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth. So see, the whole point of making this Edomite Russian and the rest of the Russians against their own people is because the Most High is against them. Okay, it says, and all thine enemy, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, that's Iran, and that's the first country mentioned. Okay, Ethiopia and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of north quarters, that's Turkey, and with all his bands and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So this is why they just had a talk, and they're under the nuclear umbrella now. You see?
There you have it. It doesn't get more Gog Magog than that. You now have the Iranians and the Russians potentially aligned along nuclear lines who are about to go to war with Israel and the United States.
That's the hook in thy jaws, and it's all of the Lord's doing.
And who's in the back seat? The North Koreans and the Chinese.
That's right, which is Moab. Same people. All right? Same people. Moab.
Guys, what I'm about to share with you today, I'm telling you, it gave me chills when I came to this realization about what may come from this point forward. There were many other events that happened in the last 24 hours in the Middle East. I'll give you all the details in just a moment. But I also want to move up to Europe because some big things have been happening up there as well. Lots of military equipment moving towards the Belarusian border in Poland. Now, apparently, I got a message from a very well-informed subscriber who always provides me intel, great intel, and they were informing me that the Polish armed forces are going to be calling up about 250,000 reservists who have to show up at a local military recruitment center to be assigned to specific posts and military units for the purpose of any future mobilization. Poland has done a lot as of late.
And since he said the word mobilization, let's go to the book of is it Amos? No, it's Joel. This is Joel 3:10. It says, beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And Elder Apostle Tahar always brought this out and said, this is the mobilization precept, meaning you are taking your agricultural budget and transferring it into your military budget. So the money that you're taking from feeding your citizens, you're now putting into killing people. All right. And this is exactly what's going down. So for instance, in Poland, if you was to look at the numbers, like he said, so all of a sudden, your tanks and your this and your that is moving to the Belarusian border. Poland is not no well-known, strong nation, but they're willing to be like, hey, listen, shit, we ready to go to war. And I promise you, if you would look at the numbers, you would see that the numbers that they use for their agricultural sphere or whatever you would call it is being now postponed and pushed towards military use.
On the low, with respect to making the process of going into full-blown war mobilization mode all the easier. In addition to that, you have some of the biggest military exercises in NATO's history, the biggest military exercise, 41,000 troops. Of those, you're going to see 20,000 UK troops. That's like half their army. Well, I'm being a little facetious, but it's a big chunk of their army. That's just from the UK, okay? Steadfast Defender is about to take place in spring. This is going to coincide with what the Institute for the...
So notice, listen, we say this all the time, but hey, we supposed to be hastening the day of the Lord, man. But again, I feel through the Spirit. Yo, when this Passover hit, man, bro, the destroyer angel about to be putting in work, about to be getting busy.
Study of war says is Russia's big arrow offensive maneuver that they're about to do in Ukraine, and it's going to involve sending paratroopers in behind enemy lines because, of course, now the fortifications are too strong. But I think what the Russians have realized is that the Ukrainians have run out of air defensive ammo, or at least in terms of the last volley, unless it was some sort of Napoleonic feint, they were able to get like 90% of their missiles through, which is incredibly rare. Now, the other big event, before I forget, that happened in the last 24 hours, and this is huge, the Russians allegedly, according to the commander of the Ukrainian military, official sources on the Ukrainian side, and unofficial Telegram-based sources on the Russian side, they claim the Russians have lost an AWACS plane, which is a reconnaissance and surveillance plane. This is a very large, very expensive plane, and they are very rare. Now, the thing that's so suspicious about this is that these things don't just fly around the war zone. In fact, this was, I believe, in the Sea of Azov, which is outside of, the Ukrainian mainland. And so what many people are saying is, how could they have possibly shot this down? Because the Patriots don't necessarily have the range. Some people are saying, well, they are within range if the Patriot system is really close to, the borderlands and the demarcation, the unofficial demarcation line where it's basically a stalemate for all intents and purposes. And this is very suspicious. It's very concerning that the Russians have lost this plane. Have the Ukrainians been given some technology that is undisclosed in order for them to target this plane? This is a massive escalation. In addition to that, an Ilyushin plane.
All you keep hearing is escalation. The Most High's turning this thing up, man. And the apostles from Tahar on down been saying this. This shit is turning up, son. You know how like the old school stereos when you used to get the put the little shit in and your shit only go up to 40, but that shit get loud. You feel me? You be having to keep it on 7 or 8, and that shit be bumping. You turn your shit up to 40, the whole block hearing it. Yo, the Most High turning this shit up to 40. Yo, word.
It was damaged in the tail end. The pilots were able to land it. This is one of like Russia's. This is what they use for their doomsday planes. Okay, the Ilyushin planes. So they're very expensive planes as well. But that was a massive escalation in of itself. And I'm going to explain why all this mobilization business in Poland and these massive exercises.
There go that mobilization again. What did I read earlier? Joel 3 and 10.
This is being planned. I think this is all a part of getting NATO ready for a potential decapitation strike. Here's the thing. And one thing, I don't agree with Joel Skousen on everything, but I do agree with one thing. He says that the only way a country is going to, he's the guy who wrote the book Strategic Relocation. We've had him on a guest on many times on the channel before. His theory is that the only way nuclear war happens is if the initiator of that nuclear conflict has a sizable enough army to go in thereafter and do occupation duty. Because the risk is if you try to do a decapitation strike and either you're unsuccessful.
So look, decapitation is what? When you cut off the head, right? If you cut off the head, the body dies. Okay, because even in the scriptures, I use a roughly paraphrase in Corinthians, for the head of Christ or Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach is Yahweh, God. The head of man is Christ, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. I'm just using those terms because, you know, I don't, the term JC or whatever. But that's what it says in the King James. You know, the head of man is Yahweh Shai and the head of woman is man. Head is in the Greek authority, you know, power. You see what I'm saying? So if you cut off that head, you take off the covering, the authority of what's under it. So they're saying that a nuclear missile is part of a decapitation. You see what I'm saying? Because you're completely cutting off the power of that country.
Or even if you are successful, eventually people are going to want revenge. So you have to have a sizable enough force to go and occupy thereafter. So where should I begin with this? NATO is assembling a combat readiness force. Actually, you know what? Let's talk about Day X, the Day X exercise.
So I didn't even know there's a such thing called Day X. You feel me? I heard of like he's about to go into, but Day X, I guess, is like the day when a nuclear attack goes off, basically.
That the Germans are preparing for. Now, we're hearing about X, disease X, Day X. If you don't know what Day X is, don't worry. I'm going to explain it in just a moment. X is in Twitter, SpaceX, Model X, all these X's. X basically symbolizes uncertainty. So the WEF is talking about disease X that has a 20 times kill rate, and Germany is talking about Day X. Now, according to a leaked document, the German army has begun to prepare for an attack that Russia may launch on NATO's eastern flank next winter. A secret Ministry of Defense training document discusses how war might break out. I mean, this is absolutely insane. Get a load of this. According to the scenario here, Russia will declare a new mobilization in February of 2024 and recruit 200,000. That's this year, by the way. That's 200,000 more people that they're going to recruit. Now, Russia has a election in March of 2024. It's on the 17th, to be exact. I believe Belarus is either before that or shortly after that. Why would they do a mass mobilization before that? There are certain reasons why they might want to do it beforehand. A lot of people, especially in and around the Moscow region, are probably becoming incredibly dissatisfied with the lack of aggressiveness on the part of Putin in terms of how he's prosecuting this conflict in Ukraine?
So the Most High not even only putting his spirit on Putin, but he's putting his spirit on the people of Russia. Like the whole land of Magog is having a hook in their jaws. They're very aggressive. They're saying, yo, fuck these NATO niggas. Get down and lay down on some. You see what I'm saying? On some what's that movie, bro? Y'all know what I'm talking about, man. The Beanie Siegel shit, whatever. But yeah, like, yo, like, they not playing. They like, yo, like, get them out of here. This shit is taking mad long. Why y'all taking this long? You know, see, the love of many. Let's get that real quick. We coming to a point, bro. Nobody is caring about the princes, the rulers, people dying, kids, elderly, women. Nobody, bro. Nobody. Let's type that in wax. Let's go to the book of Second. This is Matthew 24:12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. You see that? You know what I mean? So the thing is, this is going to get worse and worse because wickedness is increasing upon the earth. And when you read in the book of Maccabees, you know, evil grew since the Edomite rulership, since Alexander the Freak. All right, going to what it might be. I think it's the first chapter, first Maccabees, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna leave it at this, but I'm in the spirit, man. I'm gonna do another video. It probably won't be on this. It was something else that I've seen, so stay tuned. All right, I'm gonna go live again, Lord willing. I don't want Ratazah. But the point is that we entering into a times of uncertainty, man, for the 2/3. But we know, as the hopeful elect, what's going on. We know exactly what's going on. And that's why I said, yo, you ask regular Jake out here, yo, you know what's going on in Western Asia, so-called Middle East, they won't have a clue, man, on how in 24 hours a U.S. cargo ship just got destroyed by the Houthis in the Red Sea, on how Iran just hit U.S. consulates in Iraq. You see what I'm saying? How Syria getting blown up, Lebanon getting blown up, China about to take Taiwan. You see what I'm saying? Russia about to violate Ukraine. You feel me? So on and so forth, man. Listen, yo. Yo, 2024 might be the year. Yo, call Lord Yahweh, show y'all a shot, man. I pray for all the elect out there, man. Lord willing, we stay into this thing and we endure unto the end because the same shall be saved, man. All right, Shemai, Yasha Allah, Yahweh, Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh, Achad. Hear, O Israel, for the Lord our God is one, man. All right, till the next time, Shalom.